course, all the schools were segregated,
Mm-hmm.
and we had, black teachers because black teachers taught the black kids,
Mm-hmm.
and the music, we had the Dixon trio.
Oh.
Ah, yeah, baby.
Man, who's in the Dixon trio?
Alice and Louise and Nancy.
Oh, man.
And one of the songs we sang, I love that song.
Uh-huh.
It says, sit down, you can't sit down. Gotta go to heaven and you can't sit down. And Alice would be sitting in the chair and she'd be trying to stand up, and we'd be pushing her back down saying, sit down. You can't sit down. And she'd be trying to stand up and we'd push her back down. Oh, the Dixon trio, we sang our butts off.
Oh, y'all was bad, huh?
Oh, we was bad. And Daddy was a preacher then.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
We followed Daddy every place he preached at. we followed Daddy.
He went to other churches and preached?
No, he preached at the Methodist church.
Ah, the Methodist church.
Yeah, he preached
at
the Methodist church.
Oh, okay.
And so Grandma Williams, she went to the Baptist church.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked the Baptist church because that's where Grandma Williams went.
Oh, okay.
And she had these knots all over that came from, she had gotten her kids all died with smallpox.
Mm.
And she had the smallpox fever, and they gave her, when they was giving people the shots, and they gave her the shots, and she broke out.
Oh, man.
And she had these some big knots and some little knots all over her body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so she stopped going to church because people made fun of her.
Oh, boy.
And
was they like moles or?
no, they were just big knots.
Big knots.
They growed all over her body, face, head,
Oh, face and everything?
arms, legs, every place. All
So
over her
y'all
body.
never had any pictures of that or anything? Never either. No.
No, we're too poor to take pictures.
Yeah. Y'all couldn't take
And
There's a
so
picture
Grandma,
in your mind.
Grandma stayed in the house all the time, and she wouldn't go outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
Only fishing. She went fishing all the time.
Mm.
And Grandpa worked at the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd bring, wasn't no ice, wasn't no refrigeration then. And everything was on ice.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything that spoiled, they'd give it to Grandpa and he'd bring it home. Grandma would salt it, clean it with salt, and salt it down in them big crocks.
Mm.
And we had pork chops and steaks all winter long.
Dang.
Other people would be starving. Grandma had plenty of meat. And I ate so many rotten apples and rotten bananas.
Uh-huh.
I can't eat a banana now unless it's almost rotten. Somebody give me a green banana. I said, "You're crazy? What you give me a green banana for?" "Well, this is how you eat banana." I said, "Not me. I want my banana rotten."
My goodness.
And so it was bad about Grandma because Daddy went to Methodist church and I wanted to go to Baptist church because that's where Grandma used to go. And then she told me, "Baby, don't pay no attention to where I used to go to church because they made fun of me." And said I stopped going.
Oh.
Said, but they always would call me, and because she always had a phone, they'd always call me and ask me to make my pies and send them to the church. But Grandma was so sweet. She was such a sweetie. And Grandpa was, he drank every day. Kept a bottle in his pocket all the time. All the time. And Uncle Dave in Antietam, Uncle Dave worked at the hotel. And he sold the tickets for the bus coming in back and forth in Palmyra.
Okay.
He sold the tickets and he checked in people and took their money for the rooms, hotel rooms.
Oh, okay.
And then he did the laundry from the hotel. And so Uncle Dave made good money.
Oh, yeah.
And they couldn't understand how a black man, you know, people would come in there on the bus, and they would be looking at the black man thinking he was sweeping or something. He was taking their money.
Yeah. Uncle Dave was bad.
Uncle Dave was bad, baby. And of course, the Moores ran the hotel and the tickets for, you know, for the buses. And they trusted Uncle Dave. Nobody watched him or nothing. They trusted him, you know.
Trusted him a lot.
He was trustworthy. And Wayne's daughter still lives in Uncle Dave and Tito's house.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't been there for a while.
Yeah, she still lives in the house.
I didn't know that.
She don't have no boyfriend or no husband or nothing, I don't think. She works in Cyanamid.
Oh, she does? Oh, okay.
Been there for years. So,
man, that's amazing. So we're going to get right back to you in just a second, okay? All right, Nancy. Man, we're having such a great time today. I just want to find out, what church did you attend growing up? And
well, you know, I told you I went to the Baptist church.
Yeah.
But with Daddy preaching at the Methodist church, and then they kicked him out of the pulpit because he didn't have schooling.
Oh, okay.
Preacher schooling. And he used to cry because I hurt him so bad, you know, because he wanted to preach, but he didn't have no. He was like me; he didn't have no no schooling for the preaching.
So they booted Daddy on out.
Kicked him out of the pulpit because he didn't have no schooling.
My goodness, but they wasn't dependent on the Holy Spirit, huh?
No,
Yeah, they wanted to see some
forgot
paper.
Forgot about the Holy Spirit. So then, when we came to Hannibal, well then I started going to the Christian church because my girlfriend Ruth Leach, she was Joby McElroy's sister. Ruth and I were the best friends, and Ruth was real smart.
Okay.
So we stuck together. And Ruth went with Jack Brown's brother.
Oh, okay.
And she got pregnant by him. And her mother took her down to St. Louis and got her an abortion. And she died.
Oh, no.
So that was my girlfriend, and my girlfriend was dead. And
My
it
goodness.
was a long time before I come together for that, you know.
Yeah,
it hurt me so bad.
I bet that was.
And then I couldn't understand nothing about no abortion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't know what abortion was. Never heard of it until Ruth died. And then Jimmy died in the Army. He got killed over in the Army. Never did find out where he got killed at or nothing, but he never did show up, so he might have got blown up. That was, you know, in the Second World War.
Second World War, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something. Well, Nancy, what kind of dinners did y'all have? Did you all eat together as a family, or who did the cooking, and
Daddy
what
did
were the
cooking.
favorite foods?
If you ate, you sit down at the table and eat. You better sit down at the table. Didn't get called but once.
It ain't like now kids to go to their bedroom
Oh, no, baby.
and
Better
tell
sit-
them that you'll eat when you get finished with this game or something. Huh?
You better sit your butt down at that table because they'd eat it all up, and you wouldn't get. It wouldn't be nothing left. You scrape the dishes, it wouldn't be nothing in them to scrape out. Didn't nobody waste nothing. And I remember when Mama worked at. After her and Daddy stopped working at the shoe factory, Alice worked there, and Louise too. I was too young. And Mama started working at the restaurant down on Broadway. And she would bring the chicken grease home. And she'd pour water on that chicken grease and put noodles in it. I wouldn't eat it. I wouldn't eat it. I didn't like it. And I'd go hungry a lot of nights because I wouldn't touch them noodles. Them noodles were
Chicken grease?
Chicken grease and water.
My goodness.
Oh, But if that's all you had, you know.
Yeah.
The other kids would eat it. I wouldn't eat it.
You wouldn't eat it, huh? You
No,
said you wasn't messing with that, huh?
Wait till I get to work the next day, and I'd eat at work. I'd be stuffing myself at work. Yes, indeed. I wouldn't eat that stuff.
So what was your favorite foods back in them days? What did you really like to, you know, some people have a favorite. They always, all the way through life,
I like sweet stuff.
Oh, you like sweet stuff.
And then I used to drink whiskey all the time.
Oh.
Them old people down there at Mark Twain Hotel, they got me to smoking cigarettes and drinking whiskey. And you could put a penny in the cigarette machine and get you a cigarette.
Oh, okay.
They had them in Ted Green's.
Just one cigarette?
One cigarette for a penny.
Oh, man.
In Ted Green's, what's that bell ringing?
I don't know what that is.
Fire? And the thing is right up over my door, so it ain't fire, I guess. Ted Green had a tavern. Catherine Green's husband.
Yeah.
He had a tavern, and the Fouchés had a tavern. And Ted had that cigarette machine in there. And I'd slip in that door and pop a penny in there and get me a cigarette.
Man.
And pop back out the door. Because Mom and Dad was running that restaurant then. And they just had sandwiches.
Okay.
And then when it was a army camp, Camp Ellis. And the soldiers would come over to Hannibal. And Mom and Dad would make me shoot pool with them. I didn't want to shoot no pool. And they started giving me them silver dollars. Oh, I'd be standing right at the pool table waiting for them. They give me them silver dollars. And them guys was, and I was a little skinny, ugly looking thing. Them guys would pop them silver dollars on me. I'd shoot pool like a dog. Oh, what you talking about? Louise and Alice never did have to shoot pool. I don't know why I had to shoot pool.
Oh, man.
And I don't know how they got out of shooting pool, but they didn't shoot no pool. And of course, Alice moved into the hotel up there at Palmar and worked for Ms. Moore.
Oh, okay.
And so they gave her a room, and she stayed there in the hotel.
That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Alice was tough.
Yeah, sounded like she was eating house.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah, man.
She cooked and cleaned for the Moores.
Oh, okay.
So she had it made.
So how were the holidays, you know, birthdays, Christmas, celebrated in the family?
Well, if you had a birthday, you had a birthday.
You had a birthday. Happy birthday, huh?
Yeah, happy birthday. And if you got a cake, Daddy ate it all up. Oh, he loved them sweets.
Oh, man.
And then one thing about...
Is that why he came a baker?
I don't know. No, he came a baker because he had to.
Yeah.
Dixie, Daddy went looking for his pineapple in the can. And he couldn't find it, so he opened the basement door, the cellar door. And that can of pineapple was sitting right inside the cellar door. So he took it out, and somebody had opened it, and it turned green. And he loved them sweets, and he had a fit. Who opened my can of pineapple? Y'all tell me the truth. He stood us all up. Dixie said, Nancy. I said, me? I said, I have everything I want down to the hotel. Why would I open a can of pineapple at home? Dixie said, Daddy, Nancy opened that can of pineapple and hid it when she heard you coming. I said, ain't no way in the world I'd open a can of pineapple. I said, I eat everything down to the hotel. I don't never eat here at home. Why would you say I opened a can of pineapple? Daddy liked to beat me to death. Because I opened this can of pineapple. Dixie was there lying, but I was so upset.
Man, I can imagine with it being all girls in the house at the same time. My goodness.
And then I came home one night and my whiskey was gone. I kept whiskey in my drawer.
Mm-hmm.
I said, who bothered my whiskey?
Mm-hmm.
Daddy said, how about me?
Uh,
I said, huh? He beat me to death again. Got the nerve to ask who bothered your whiskey. You didn't have no business with no whiskey in the house.
yeah.
But see, them old women I worked with, they made me bad. They had me doing everything, smoking and drinking.
So you get fired up, huh?
Oh, yeah.
How old was you then?
I guess I was about 13, 14, something like that.
Okay. Well, hold that thought. We're going to get back to you, okay?
Okay, Joe.
Okay, Nancy. Let me ask you this question. How is the world today different from what it was when you were a child?
Well, today we have television, cell phones. Everybody's got a car.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was a child, we had a Model T or a Model T Ford.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't run half the time, but and we had a stove, oil burner that we kept in the car to keep us warm. Because it was awful cold in that car.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I learned to drive, because I'd have to drive the car through the gate. It was buck sheep, and they would knock your brains out. And Daddy'd have to get out of the car and open the gate for us to get the car through. And because none of us could open the gate, because we couldn't move fast enough to get the gate closed. The gate was heavy. And them sheep would get you. They'd run and butt your butt. And so Daddy had me drive around and around in the pasture, so I know how to drive. And then I learned how to drive through that gate, and Daddy would get out and open the gate, and I'd drive through that gate.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of times the car would break down, and then we'd have to walk to Valmar to school.
So now, was that a stick shift?
The
3-speed? Or
the shift was up on the steering wheel.
on the steering wheel? It had a clutch?
Yep.
Yeah. And so those are some of the stories I've been hearing about. Daddy used to get butt all the time with the
sheep.
With the sheep or the goats or something.
Yeah, they were sheep.
Oh, okay.
They had horns, big old horns on them.
Yeah. So how many? Did y'all have a lot of acreage there? Or?
Well, we was renting.
Oh, you was renting.
Mama had a nervous breakdown, and the doctor said we need to move on the farm.
Oh, okay.
Or she wouldn't be around a lot of people. But the reason she had that nervous breakdown, she was reading them true stories.
Oh. You mean like the stories on TV, The Days of Our Lives or something?
Yeah, she's reading them true stories.
She's reading.
But she just get them every month. And so it would worry her all day, every day.
Oh, no.
About what was going to happen the next month. And so it did something to her brain. And she went off.
My goodness.
So the doctor said had to move out on the farm someplace where she wouldn't be able to get them books. Because didn't have no neighbors, you know. And we lived out at South River. And we was about 5 miles from town. We had to walk to school a lot of times. And we'd be cold, freezing to death. The car would break down. And Daddy'd have to get to work. He still worked for the Schofields or Scofarms or whatever the name was. And we'd have to walk to school. I don't know how we got back home. I can't remember that. But I know we had to walk to school.
Well, y'all was so poor though. How did y'all? Where did y'all's clothes? If y'all was so poor, how did y'all?
The county gave us clothes.
Oh, they gave you clothes.
Yeah, they was new clothes.
So you had a good overcoat and
had a good coat
and boots and everything.
Corduroys.
Oh, okay.
Our clothes were corduroys. And so everybody with these corduroy clothes was the same color. Same. So everybody knew that everybody was getting county clothes. Because everybody's clothes were exactly alike. Everybody but Louise. Louise wouldn't wear them.
Oh, no. Louise wouldn't wear them, huh?
No.
And Mom would make her wear them?
No. She
Oh.
was a princess. Princess
my
didn't
goodness.
wear commodity clothes.
Oh, no. So Louise was like a little queen.
Oh, yeah, baby. And my feet were small, and I had to wear... Daddy got all these high heel shoes, and he cut the heels off, and couldn't nobody wear them but me.
Oh.
And the toes would turn clear up, be trying to meet your knees. And I had to wear them shoes every day to school. Everybody made fun of me. My toes turned up in my shoes, and they laced all the way up. Oh, Lord.
Oh,
I had to, they were shoes. Didn't nobody else? Everybody else was wearing paper on the bottom of their shoes.
Yeah, because I heard Melvin tell stories. Uncle Melvin used to tell stories about they had to wear each other's the same pair of shoes. I think they had one pair of shoes for about 4 or 5 boys. And every time one of them went out, they would wear their Sunday pair of shoes. One of them got to go to church that Sunday, and they would wear that same pair of shoes.
Yeah, I think times were rough.
Yeah, so man, that is
Anna
different.
had it hard because her husband was in the penitentiary.
Oh no.
Yeah, the man, the white man he was working for had sheep, and he went out there. He didn't come in for the man to bring him home. So the man went out in the pasture looking for him. He's out there screwing the sheep.
Oh my goodness.
And they put him in the penitentiary. He was in the penitentiary for about 10 years.
My goodness.
And of course, all them boys hated him anyway. Because their daddy was dead. Abby was dead.
Oh, okay.
And so Velma Ward was had all them kids by Anna. And all the Abbey boys hated him.
Oh.
They hated his guts. Because he mistreated them, you know. He shot at Howard Owen, almost. Howard Owen had come from the army and had a Bible in his pocket. And the bullet hit that little Bible.
Oh no.
Yeah, he shot at Howard Owen. They hated him.
Man.
Velma Ward, they hated him.
Oh, that's Michael's dad, Mike's daddy.
Mike and Velma Dolores
And
Vinora. Merle, yeah, he's all their daddy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember him a little bit.
Yeah, because Abby, Howard Owen and Melvin and all them about the same color as their daddy. And see, the Abby that Sue McGrew was married to, that was their uncle.
Oh, okay.
And all the Abbeys that was married to Rose, Rose Abbey. He was one of the brothers.
Okay.
And so the Abbeys hated Velma Ward. They hated his guts.
Man.
And he was a brother to Betty Gray's mother.
Oh, okay.
And so I don't know how Betty Gray's mother got so dark. But evidently Ward was by a white man.
Oh, okay.
His mother must have had him by a white man.
Yeah, because he had that good hair, too.
And had the other kids by a black man.
He had some good hair. I remember that.
Oh, yeah, his hair was laying.
Yeah, he had that good hair.
And see, the Abbey boys, they had good hair, because their daddy had good hair.
Okay. Yeah, those Abbeys had some good hair, too. Yeah, they had good hair.
And Sue's only one of the girls that had any kind of hair. You know, that's so strange.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, she's the firstborn.
Yeah.
And she had that good hair. She didn't get it from me.
Okay. We're going to get back with you just a second.
White. He was by a slave and a white woman up there in Palmyra.
Oh.
Harold's daddy was from Palmyra. His the slave that worked for these people in Palmyra made one of the girls pregnant.
Oh.
And so they gave the baby away
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know how him and Harold's mother got together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But see, she was real dark.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you couldn't tell him from a white man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He worked down there at the clothing store, Sonnenberg's, I think it was.
Yeah, I know. Louise had told me. I don't think I ever met Mr. Williams, but
No, I doubt it.
yeah, he was gone before I came around, I think.
And
Mm-hmm.
you, only reason you know that he was a black guy working down in that store because he had overalls on.
Oh. And everybody else had regular clothes?
Had suits on. You know.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you'd be walking down the street right beside him and never know he was a black guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because he was so white.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Harold loved his daddy. He loved his mother too, but he worshipped his daddy.
Well, Margaret Louise was saying last night at the restaurant that in California, they make her white because of her color, and she said, "No, I'm black." And they said, "No, you white. Ask your mama, ain't you white?" "No, I'm black." So I guess that does happen a lot in society.
Mm-hmm.
But who was the oldest relative you remember as a child, and what do you remember about them?
Now, have you got it turned on now?
Yeah.
It's on?
Yeah, I saw.
Oh, I didn't know it was on. What was I talking about? I thought you turned it off.
He was talking about Harold and yeah, their daddy.
The oldest person I remember, Grandma Barr.
Oh, okay.
See, I was so bad, they said, when I was little, that they would take me out to Grandma Barr's and Grandma Walker's because I was so bad. They wouldn't let me stay at home with the rest of the kids. I'd be beating their butts. They pick on me. They all picked on me, see? I don't know why they picked on me. And I would beat their brains out. So they'd take me out there and drop me out there at Grandma Barr's house. Oh, shoot. So I don't think they know. I don't know whether they know Grandma Barr or not.
Okay.
But see, I knew her personally, you know.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think they knew her personally, like nothing like I did, because I was out there all the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And Grandpa Walker, I loved him. He took me just like I was a student. You know.
Right.
Taught me how to shoot and how to clean rabbits and how to gather wild strawberries. Yeah, he was my teacher.
Yeah. Well, that's good when you remember somebody like that, and then you know how they helped you through life.
Yeah, Grandma Barr was tall.
Oh, okay.
She was real tall. And nobody took after her. Nobody was tall, you know, in our family. And Aunt Ella, see, you couldn't tell her from white.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And one of her kids, Helen, couldn't tell her from white. She had red hair and green eyes. And so that white stuck stuck on the kids coming down, you know.
Sure. So let's talk a little bit about our family's name. What about our family's name? What do you know about the Dixon name? Oh, you don't know nothing? Oh, okay.
No, see, we don't know nothing about that Dixon.
Yeah. But I thought maybe that our name was, there was something about some people in Monroe. I thought that the slave name was Dickerson, and somebody said the dad had changed it to Dixon, D-I-X-O-N. But you said you don't know anything.
We really don't know nothing about that Dixon name.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And we really don't know nothing about Daddy's father. Nobody ever said nothing about his father. We just know that his father was supposed to be a Dixon. And we don't know nothing about it, Grandma being married to him or nothing. We don't know nothing about that.
Well, what stories have come down to you about your parents or grandparents, more distant ancestors?
Well, Grandpa Williams was born slave.
Okay.
Charlie Williams, and they called him Buckshot.
Mm-hmm.
And I hung around Grandpa and Grandma a lot because of Uncle Thomas. And he just loved me, Uncle Thomas did. And he'd come out to the house and get me and take me down to Grandma and Grandpa's, walk down there with me. And so Grandpa was slicing onions one day. I said, Grandpa, can I have a slice of onion? Mm-hmm. He said, baby, you want to know how much I love onions? And I said, yeah, Grandpa. He said, my mammy was a house slave and in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. And said she always put a little garden outside the house. Mm-hmm. And said she would make hills to stick the onions in. So she always planted a lot of onions and sweet potatoes. Mm-hmm. And said she'd make this hill, and then she would go down the hill and stick the onion down in the hill. And said then she'd turn around and come back and flip the dirt over the onion sets. Okay. And he said when she turned around to flip the dirt over the onion sets, it wasn't no sets, it's all gone. I said, Grandpa, what happened to the onion sets? He said, well, I was 6 months in Mammy's belly, and I loved onions so much, I'd pull them sets up when she'd stick them in. I'd reach down and pick the onion sets up and stick them in my mouth and eat. Said Mammy would be so shocked when she turned around to cover her onion sets up and wasn't no onions there. And he told me a lot of things, but I forgot them. But that onion story stuck with me. So I told Angela about that story. I said, put that in your, when you're telling stories.
Right.
She said, I don't think I can put that in. So I don't know whether she ever used that or not. But he talked to me all the time. And Grandma washed clothes. Mm-hmm. And Grandpa would iron them. Mm-hmm. And they got me a little red wagon, and I would deliver the clothes, go pick them up dirty and take them back clean, and collect the money for them. And then they both was on OH pension.
Oh, okay.
They both got $69 a month, and that was a lot of money.
Oh man, $69 a month?
Yeah, for both of them.
Shoot.
Both of them got that.
Oh.
And so I'd go to the post office and pick up their checks. And I'd sign them because Grandpa couldn't read or write. And Grandma could read and write, but not real good.
Oh, okay.
And I would sign their checks and cash them. And then I'd pay their light bill and telephone bill. They always had telephone.
You didn't slip me a little bit off the top, though, did you?
I didn't have sense enough to do that. And I'd get Grandpa's whiskey. Anybody could buy whiskey then. And he had a bottle of whiskey in his pocket at all times.
All the time. So.
Never went without that half pint of whiskey in his pocket.
Well, now, did he used to drink that 151 or something whiskey, or he just drank?
He drank any kind of whiskey.
Any kind of whiskey was all right with him.
Any kind of whiskey. Whiskey.
So they didn't have that moonshine down this way, though, did
No.
they? Yeah, they didn't drink that. But he just anything out of the liquor store.
But everybody made their own beer and their own wine.
Oh yeah.
I used to make wine and beer. Remember?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Daddy did too.
Yeah,
and me, I used to make it myself.
Yeah, and Grandpa, that's what had all them big crocks. Crocks full of everything. That spoiled meat. And Grandma would wash that meat with baking soda and then salt it down, scrub it with baking soda and then salt it down. We had the best food in town.
Now, how did y'all get by with mold? Because now it seems like that, I don't know, so many people all over the United States now is having trouble with mold. How did y'all get by with mold in them days?
Well, you had the wood stoves.
Oh, okay.
Didn't have no mold.
Mm-hmm.
Mold couldn't grow where you had that smoke and that heat.
Oh, okay.
See, you had smoke all the time out of the stoves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If anything, you had smoke in your hair and your clothes. But you didn't have no mold. There wasn't no mold. If anybody had mold, they didn't have no heat. And everybody had heat because all you have to do is go out there and get some wood.
Mm-hmm. And back in those days, also, the walls was like, well, they had wood inside the walls, was plaster, and they didn't have drywall then, did they?
And my bed was up in the wall.
Uh-huh.
And you pull it down at night.
Oh, okay.
And I loved that bed.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that bed. My bed was up in the wall.
So you pulled your bed down.
Grandpa pulled it down. I couldn't pull it down. It's too heavy.
Oh, okay.
The mattress and everything was in there.
He pulled it down every night?
Every night. Yeah. How you going to go to bed if you don't pull it down?
Yeah, that's something.
And then push it up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I've seen those kind of beds, but I didn't know that you had one.
yeah, that's what I slept in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't ever know if Alice and Louise and Dixon, I don't think they ever stayed with Grandma and Grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
They thought they was too good to stay with Grandma and Grandpa.
Now, was that, they thought they was too good, huh?
Because they had a washing machine in the middle of the floor, an ironing board in the middle of the other floor, and they washed and ironed, you know, every day. And Grandpa would go up to the store and work, and then come back home, and then he'd do the ironing. And Grandma washed, and he'd iron, and I'd deliver the clothes, and bring the dirty clothes, and take the clean clothes out.
Oh, okay.
And they always said wasn't no homosexuals in our family. And I said, Uncle Thomas was.
Oh.
Alice said, no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. I said, yes, he was, Alice. I said, him and the twins was together. The twins lived next door. I said, him and them twins was together day and night, drank together, stayed drunk. If they'd go, the twins had a car, they'd go to Quincy, Uncle Thomas would go to Quincy with them.
Oh, man. I bet that was something in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Nancy, we're going to take a little break here. We're going to come back, okay?
All right.
All right. Okay, Nancy, I'm going to talk to you about now, was there any famous people in the family or infamous relatives in our family that you know of?
Well, now, Louise Williams married a guy that was divorced, had been divorced. And Reverend Johnson, a holiness preacher, his church was down on Settle Street. And he ruled all the people that went to his church. So when Louise fell in love and was going to marry her husband, everybody dropped her because Reverend Johnson said that she was sinning.
Oh.
Because you couldn't marry no man that had already been married and been divorced. Now, if his wife had died, you know, it'd been different.
Yeah.
And so Louise married him anyway, but everybody dropped her. Everybody dropped her.
Now, who was her last name? Williams? What?
She was Louise Williams. And she was Aunt Ella's daughter. And Uncle Frank. Uncle Frank was a black policeman.
Okay.
And
wait a minute. Let me ask you one question. How do we know that Harold's family wasn't kin to our family?
there wasn't no kin.
Oh, there wasn't no kin. Okay.
No. No. You know, like I said, Harold's father was born to a white woman in Palmyra by a slave.
Okay.
And they wasn't no kin to Louise Williams. Uncle Frank was a Williams. And he lived here in Hannibal. And he married Aunt Ella. So that's where the Williams come from. From Uncle Frank. And so anyway, by the church kicking Louise out of the church, well, you know, it hurt her to her heart. Her family done dropped her.
Oh, yeah.
And she in love with this black juicy man. Because see, all them was just looked white, you know.
Yeah.
And even Uncle Frank was light.
Mm-hmm.
And then she married this black juicy man. And he had this son that was famous.
Uh-huh.
And he got famous singing 1,000 Pounds of Clay. I think that's the name of that song.
Was it Gene McDaniels?
Gene, that's
Yeah, that's it.
Gene McDaniels.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, see, so that was Louise's husband's son by his first wife.
Okay.
And of course, he was good to Louise. He took her overseas and over to Europe, and anytime he was going someplace for a long spell, after his daddy died, he took Louise every place with him.
Okay.
And he took good care of her, very good care of her. And so that was the only famous person in the family beside me.
Okay.
But Daddy was famous for his cooking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was.
Now, he was famous for
I
his
know
cooking.
he was.
He was a cook from way back. And he made them donuts and loaves of bread and sold them, you know. And we had to deliver them in our little red wagon. And one day I was hungry, and I told Louise, I said, let's eat some of these donuts. Delivering all these donuts to these rich white people. And we walking around hungry like fools. I said, let's eat some of these donuts. So we ate half a dozen donuts. Louise couldn't wait to get home. She told Daddy.
Oh,
Nancy ate the donuts up. And the woman had already called Daddy and told her that we didn't deliver her donuts. So when we got in the house, Louise couldn't wait. Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. Nancy ate the donuts up. Daddy said, did you eat them donuts? I said, me and Louise ate them. But Louise talked like she didn't touch the donuts. Daddy beat my brains out.
Oh, man. They got it again. You got it again.
I got it all the time. They tell on me all the time. They never done nothing wrong themselves, you know. I was always the wrongdoer. And so Daddy said he didn't want me to deliver donuts no more. I told him that's all right with me. I'd stay home and help him cook them and steal one every once in a while. Because I love sweet stuff just like Daddy did. So Louise, she got tired of delivering the stuff by herself. And then she asked Daddy, can Nancy go with me?
So you always had to pick up her slack.
Oh, yeah, baby.
So, was there any special heirlooms or photos or Bibles or other memorial
memorabilia?
Yeah, memorabilia.
Well, we had a family Bible. And you know how I love to read, and I didn't have nothing to read. So I opened up the Bible and started reading it. And so Daddy tried to beat my brains out because I opened the family Bible and was reading it.
Man.
And see, it had
Daddy didn't play, did he?
had everything in there about our family, you know. And so that was interesting to me. Everybody's name, age, when they was born, and everything. And then I read the Bible because I didn't have nothing else to read.